welcome to Boston. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week here in the Boston area.
Hello from Boston. We just got in just a second ago and we flew into the Boston airport from Indy and we rode a bus here to our hotel. We were able to check in so early. It's only 10:43 and we already have our hotel room, which is so nice because we thought we were going to have to just carry our stuff around and kind of figure it out today. But that being said, it's 10:43 and we have not had anything to eat yet besides like a protein bar on the plane. So we're off to go find some coffee, matcha, food, that kind of stuff. I just saw a seagull fly by. That's so fun because we're like right by the beach and the ocean, even though we're in a big city and it doesn't feel that way. But I think we're going to go to, I don't know if you say Tatte or Tatte, but it's like the main popular coffee shop here in Boston that like all the people, I feel like it's touristy, but also like locals go there. They have tons of locations and it looks like they have coffee and actual breakfast and lunch kind of food. So I think we're going to go there and get some food. And then I don't know what our plans are for the rest of the day. We're going to just explore, walk. We plan on just walking pretty much everywhere. Hopefully it's not going to rain right now. It's just cloudy, but I mean, you can tell from the light coming in, you're like right on the window that there's still a good amount of sunlight, honestly. So I wanted to show you guys, even though it's probably not that exciting, our hotel room. So we're staying at the Hyatt Place in the Seaport district in Boston. We love staying at Hyatt or Hyatt Places because it's just, we know the hotel and it's easy. So this is our room. When you first come in the door here, there's a bathroom with this little sliding door, sink, everything you need, shower. They always have all the things that you need. And so it's a bathroom. And then when you come in here, it's just like one big open room. So there's like desk area, little coffee maker, nice couch area that you can hang out. But I feel like we never use the couch when we stay in a hotel. And then this is a king size bed, which is really nice. I feel like normally we get a queen. Nice big TV, big closet thing to hang up clothes, which I might need to do because I feel like I packed tight in our suitcase and some things were probably wrinkled. And then I love this big floor to ceiling window. It's not the best view like right here. There's just a parking lot where they're obviously doing some kind of construction, which is, this is not very pretty. But if you look this way, you can kind of see the ocean and the airport's across the water over there. And there's some pickleball courts over here. Don't really know what's going on over there, but we're not going to spend a lot of time in this room, so I don't think the view matters too much. But it's fun that we can see the ocean. Like I said, there was like a seagull, and it's just fun. So that's our room. That's where we're staying. We are going to head to the, I think it's Tatte, but I feel silly saying that, so I might ask them when we go. That location in Seaport, I think it's right near the water. So let's go eat. So we left our hotel and immediately walked to Tatte on Pier 4. I got a little turkey sandwich. Jackson got a chicken pita, and then I got a matcha and he got a coffee. My matcha was absolutely delicious. I'll give a little rating in a few minutes that you'll get to see. And then we just walked along the Harborwalk in the Seaport area. It was really pretty. It was kind of a gloomy, cloudy day, but I feel like that was the perfect vibe for a New England trip. And this was such a nice place to walk around. If you're in the area, I would highly recommend. This view of the city was absolutely perfect, and I feel like it is such a good spot for photos as well. For a second, I wanted to rate my matcha. So I just got a regular matcha with oat milk, no sweetener, and I don't think they sweeten their matcha because it doesn't taste sweet at all. But I would give this a solid like 8 out of 10. No clumps, super creamy, and yeah, I would like it a little bit sweeter, but I wanted to see what it was like not sweet, and it's really good. So this is really close to our hotel, so I'll probably go back if we get a chance. So Jackson got an iced latte.
I got a regular iced latte with vanilla because they were out of the house latte.
Oh yeah, and oat milk. So what would you rate yours?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Also, it's Tatte like latte. Very helpful that they put that on their cups. So after walking on the harbor walk, we left the Seaport area by crossing over this bridge into the downtown area, which was a little more crowded. We saw another Tatte, of course, they're on like every corner in Boston. And then we walked through both Boston Common and Boston Public Garden. They're right next to each other in the middle of the downtown area, and they were both beautiful. You could do lots of good people watching. There were ducks and geese, and it was just a really fun place to walk around, even on a little bit of a cloudy day. We're sitting in Boston Public Garden, I think is what it's called. It's right next to Boston Common. So like the little main park downtown, kind of like the, what is that called? Central Park of Boston kind of vibe. And yeah, it's really very pretty. There's a like little lake kind of lagoon thing right in front of us, and everybody's just chilling. Like, I feel like that is the theme so far of Boston, is like Boston's just very chill so far. Like everybody, I mean, we walked through one part on the way here from like towards the river part that was a little more like hectic, reminded me a little bit more of like a New York City, more busy, more like street vendors, more that kind of thing. But where we're staying and then like over here in the downtown area, I feel like it's just very chill. Everybody's just sitting on park benches, reading, drinking coffee, hanging out, working, grabbing lunch. Like it seems to have a very chill vibe so far, which I really like. Do you want to share your thoughts?
It's good.
You like it so far?
Yeah.
What would you rate Boston so far?
Give it a 9 so far.
Oh, why not a 10?
I don't know.
Just because it could always be better?
I don't know.
Okay.
What's yours?
I'd give it an 8. I just feel like there's more to see.
You gotta show that. Show the boat.
Oh. After taking a little break in the park, we walked to Brattle Bookshop. This is one of the oldest bookstores in the country, supposedly, and they have this little outdoor bookshelf section. I've seen it on Pinterest a ton. It's very picturesque. You could take lots of fun pictures here, and it was just fun to browse all of the old books. There's an inside as well. We walked back over through the Seaport area. There's these little pop-up shops, went to our hotel to take a little bit of a break because we had walked a ton. We headed back out and walked by the old State House here, which is a big historic landmark in Boston. We stopped into Boston Public Market, which has tons of food and artisan vendors to kind of shop around. And then we walked over into the North End part of Boston. We stopped in this store called I Am Books, which was really cute. The North End area of Boston is kind of like their little Italy, and so this store was definitely taking some inspiration from that with some Italian flair, if you will. And of course, I saw some of my favorite books like Funny Story and Hello Stranger. Then we again took a little walk. That's the theme of this trip, is just walking. Got to see some more views of the skyline. We stopped in this park, which I think is called Christopher Columbus Park, right on the water, to take a little break. And then we went to Luke's to get lobster rolls. We went to Luke's. This is a gluten-free lobster roll. I don't even know if you can hear me. And this one is normal bread and also has like butter and stuff on it. So we're gonna give them a taste test.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I've never had lobster, so it's gonna be interesting. The bread is good.
What about the lobster?
I'm not sure what the lobster tastes like.
So get a piece and just eat it by itself. Ready? It's good.
It's a little slimy, crunchy. I don't know about that. I might just not be a lobster person. So then after finding out I'm not a lobster person, we stopped by Quincy Market, which has tons of different food vendors, but I specifically went to get Fomu, which is dairy-free ice cream. It was the best ice cream I've ever had. I got the birthday cake flavor and the chocolate pudding flavor, and we just walked around a little bit. Actually, we found this little mall area by our hotel, and we stopped into both a Cezanne and an Aloe. I had never seen a Cezanne store in person, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It's later now. I think the last time I talked to you guys, we were at the Boston Public Garden Commons area, And after we went there, we walked around a little bit and came back to the hotel to kind of like regroup and rest for a minute because we've walked a lot today. So we came back and regrouped, and then we needed some quick food. So we went to Shake Shack because it's just right down the road from our hotel and got some food. And then we walked around like the old part of Boston. So it's called like the North End. But honestly, it was good to see, but it felt very claustrophobic to me and was just more crowded and dirty, and the streets were narrow. Not super dirty, but more dirty than the rest of the city. And we did go to a fun bookstore that I got some clips of that was really nice, so I would go there. And then also kind of in that area of town, we got a lobster roll, which was just not my favorite. I don't think I'm a lobster person. Jackson liked it, so I don't think it was the lobster roll. I think it was just me. We got ice cream at Quincy Market. There's a place up here called Fomu, I think is how you say it. And all of the ice cream is dairy-free. It's vegan. It's made with like coconut milk and stuff. And I got like a chocolatey flavor. I think it was called chocolate pudding. And then I got the like birthday cake one that had like sprinkles and gluten-free cake in it. And it was maybe the best dairy-free ice cream I've had ever. There was a place we went in West Palm Beach that was really good, but this had to be like either top or second. Jackson tried it too. You thought it was good, right? Like for dairy-free ice cream, it was so good. Even just for regular ice cream, like even if you're not dairy-free, I would go there. But we might have to go back. We'll see. It was so good. That was probably my favorite part of the day so far. What was your favorite part of the day?
I don't know. I just like walking around.
Yeah, that's my other thing. If it wasn't ice cream, I would say just like walking around and seeing the city.
Seeing a new place.
Yeah. I'm thankful that we could just walk around and like explore and stuff. But
thankful for my legs. We
Yeah.
saw a lot of the city, and we just got here today.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we'll venture a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Into the city.
Tomorrow we're planning to go over to like Charles Street and some of the areas that I feel like are more like photographed, popular, and then also maybe over to like Cambridge, Harvard, maybe the Red Sox Stadium. Some of them more like touristy spots. I feel like today we were more in like the downtown, like where the locals are, which not that there aren't locals there, but right now we're at our hotel and it has like this really nice rooftop area and it's just quiet and chill up here. So I think this is probably where we're going to be the rest of the night. I might go get my book. I've been reading Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. So apparently we're going to show you right now. I just started Great Big Beautiful Life on the plane because I had like a Libby hold on it at my library and I just got it. And so far I'm liking it. I've seen people talk about how they feel like the chapters of like just Margaret's story are kind of boring. But I see that a little bit so far, but I'm interested to keep reading and see kind of what's happening. Because so far I feel so about the book. So I recently finished Abby Jimenez's new book and I loved it, like 5 stars. So, and last year I read Just for the Summer and Funny Story, and both of those were 5 stars. So I feel like I was thinking maybe both, like the new Abby Jimenez and the new Emily Henry would both be 5 stars again, but I'm not sure about this one yet, but we're going to see. So I might go get my book and just chill up here because it's so nice. There's so many sailboats out on the water right now. Do you see all those? But that's our update for now. I think for the rest of the night, we're just going to be chilling here. And then we'll see what we get up to tomorrow. We have a lot of plans for tomorrow.
We'll see what kind of trouble we can get into tomorrow.
Definitely going to try some more matchas, coffees. Definitely going to go to some more bookstores.
But
Good morning. It's day 2 in Boston. If you can't tell, the sun is coming out today. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer, like 70, 75 today. So we're planning to pack a lot into today because I'm not exactly sure what the weather's going to hold tomorrow. So we're staying in the Seaport district. I think I've said that. This morning, we're planning to walk over to like Charles Street, Newbury Street. There's kind of a whole area over there that just is supposed to have really picturesque streets. There's lots of coffee shops and some bookstores I want to check out and just a really pretty area. Wow, the sun is so bright right now. I love it. So we're going to walk over there and then that's right across the river from MIT, and a little bit further of a walk is Harvard and all of everything that's around Harvard. So that's kind of our goal today, is to get to all of that, maybe walk by the Red Sox stadium, but it's a lot and there's also a chance of rain like midday. So we're going to see what we can get done and just explore. First up is breakfast at the hotel because it's free and we need some fuel, and then probably get walking and maybe grab some coffee or matcha to rate. We'll probably get 2 different coffee shop stops today maybe. So that's the plan for today. We also might ride the subway or a bus or something over there, just because I think to where we want to walk, like over near Harvard, it's like 5.5 miles from where we are, which is totally doable, but then we would have to walk back. So that's where I'm like, maybe we'll just ride over there and then we could walk back, or maybe we'll walk over there and we could ride back. We'll see kind of what happens with that today. This is my outfit for today. I thought I would share because the weather's been kind of weird while we've been here. It's like 50 to 70-ish today, maybe 75, but like it's not quite warm enough to just wear like shorts and a t-shirt or shorts and a tank top every day, but it's not so cold that you need like sweatpants and a sweater every day either. So first, I just have my New Balances on. These are the only shoes I brought because I knew we'd be walking the city a ton. These little ruffle socks are just from Target. I bought them right before our trip because I wanted some to make my tennis shoes look a little bit cuter while we were here. These shorts I love. They're from Old Navy. I feel like kind of similar, very similar actually to the Abercrombie ones, like the Abercrombie loose ones that everybody loves, because I almost bought those. But these were a lot cheaper and I feel like they're very similar and just flattering, and they have like the normal and the curvy, and I feel like they just fit really well, and they're like still that like soft, stretchy kind of denim. And then this sweater is one that has like holes in it, like crocheted, so I feel like it'll be good for the weather today to like not get too hot, but also have on like a layer. And I just have a little pink tank top on. Both of these are actually also from Old Navy. I'm a big Old Navy fan right now. And then I just have in my Madewell hoops, and this necklace is from my grandmother, and that's what I'm wearing today. And then if I do get a little hot in this sweater, I have a little just like white button down that's from Target that I could take the sweater off and just wear that as like a lighter outer layer. So that's what we're wearing today. Jackson, do you want to show them what you're wearing? Where's your shirt?
Some blue shorts and a blue shirt.
Okay, let's go get some breakfast. We started out by getting on the bus. The buses actually go underground here. I would have never known that. And then when we came up out of the train station, we walked over to the Charles Street area. This is where some of the most picturesque streets are, with just the trees and the more like European small roads kind of vibe. And it was so beautiful over there. We stopped into Blank Street Coffee, which I think they have a few locations in like New York, DC, but I'd never been, and I'd heard they have the best matcha, so I picked up a blueberry matcha. It was so beautiful before I stirred it with the purple, and I can confirm it was delicious. Then we walked around again some more, saw some more very picturesque buildings, and our next stop right near Blank Street was the Beacon Hill Books and Cafe. I was so excited to go in here, and it did not disappoint. It was the most whimsical, beautiful bookstore I've ever seen. I loved the colors and the decor. It was just my ideal bookstore. So I loved wandering around here, looking at all the books, all the decorations, all the things they had for sale. There were these big staircases and just so many little nooks and crannies and windows and things that I feel like you could just get lost in. And I just had the most fun in here. I would say going to Blank Street and going to this bookstore, if I lived in Boston, would be like my top favorite weekend activity. I had so much fun browsing around. There was this little door, I'm not exactly sure why, but I just love this place so much. There's also a little cafe with it. We didn't stop and eat or anything, but you can actually sit down and get a meal. They have drinks, so I feel like that would be really fun as well. Next, we walked down through the Commonwealth Avenue Mall. This is basically just a little park that goes in the middle of this road that you can walk through. So again, beautiful, like the brown Boston buildings on the side, but in the nestled part of this little park. I drank my matcha while we walked. It was sunny and beautiful this day, and I was just in the best mood strolling around with my matcha on these beautiful Boston streets. It was so much fun. Next, right next to Commonwealth Avenue Mall, we walked down Newbury Street. This is where a ton of shopping is, I feel like, in Boston. Lots of stores that you would recognize. but also other stores that are a little bit more local. I will say we walked down here maybe like between 9 and 10ish, and I feel like some things didn't open until 10 or 11. So if you are actually wanting to shop, I would recommend getting there a little bit later. Right near Newbury Street, we stopped into the Boston Public Library, which I was so excited about. But we kind of made a little mistake. When we visited this time, we just walked through the newer part of the library, which was still beautiful and so nice. There were tons of different levels and tons of new books. I feel like it was just beautifully decorated and I really enjoyed walking around. But there is an older part of the library that we totally missed this day. Don't worry, we're gonna go there tomorrow, but I don't know how I made that mistake. After the library, we strolled around some more on these beautiful streets, looking at just all the beautiful buildings, the architecture, the flowers. I was just so in love with this area of Boston specifically. I feel like it was exactly what I had pictured when we planned our trip, and I was just having the most fun. Then we were walking towards the river area, so we had to cross this bridge. We actually walked and we're like, how do we get around this road? So there was a little pedestrian bridge that we could walk over it. And then we went into this park that's called Esplanade, I think on Charles River, or Charles River Esplanade. It was probably my favorite park we went to. It was right near the area of Boston I loved the most. But it was quiet. People were just biking and walking around. It was so peaceful. I imagine that would be one of my favorite spots if I lived in Boston to visit. I just had the best time. It felt so relaxing and restful to just sit on a bench, watch the water. I imagine if you're out on a day, this day was a little bit rainy, so there weren't a ton of boats out, but I feel like there would be a ton of boats out, sailboats, and it would just be so fun to have a picnic, sit by the river, watch the sailboats go by. This was my dream spot, honestly. Also, this tree was crazy. It was like going into the ground multiple places, and I just had to take a video. On Newbury Street, we stopped in Trident Booksellers and Cafe, yet another bookstore. I know that was one of the parts of the trip that I was most excited about. And I really liked this one. They had a ton of different books. They had this really cool staircase that when you walked up, it was painted with like all the different books, which was really fun to see. And we just browsed around a ton. And then we also ended up eating at the little cafe upstairs. So I just got some chicken sausage for protein and sweet potato fries because they're my favorite. And we just took a little break and rested in this cozy bookstore. After getting some fuel at Trident, we walked over to Fenway Park just to see the iconic baseball stadium, which was well worth the little detour. Then we went across the river and went to Harvard's campus. This again is just an iconic Boston spot that I feel like has to be a part of your trip. It was actually graduation weekend while we were here, so it was quite crowded, and all I could do was think about Rory. Right across the street from Harvard, we went to the Harvard Bookstore, which was a really cool bookstore. I feel like it was older but still had newer books. There was this rolling ladder that I was obsessed with. There's a book in the Only Magic in the Building series where they're like meet cute, involves a rolling library ladder, and that's like all I could think about while we were in the store. Another bookstore we visited in the Cambridge area was Lovestruck Books. It's a romance bookstore, which I had never been in a bookstore like that, and I loved it. They had all the romances separated out by Western, rom-com, contemporary, sports, all the categories. We saw Say You'll Remember Me, which is one of my new favorite books this year. And they also had these really cute like trope hats, like a Grumpy Sunshine and an Only One Bed. It took a lot of self-control for me to not buy the Friends to Lovers or the Second Chance romance hats because I love those. We also stopped by MIT's campus here on the way back, and then we rode the bus back across the bridge and saw some sailboats, which I absolutely loved. It's much later. We are back from our day of adventures. It's actually 6:43, so this morning when we left, I think it was around 8:15, something like that when we went down for breakfast, so we've had ourselves quite a day. We went to Sweet Green and Chipotle to just grab dinner because something about us when we travel, or at least me, is that I'm not really into like eating at different places. Part of it is that like I don't really eat certain things, and then also it's like I just look forward more to like desserts and treats and drinks and things than like meals. And so I feel like meals are just a necessary evil when we're traveling and not something I'm like so excited about. So a lot of times we actually eat at just like familiar chain kind of places when we travel just to make it easy. We can just order, pick it up, whatever. So that's what we did tonight. now it's almost 7 o'clock. I don't know if we're gonna go back out tonight. I could go for some more ice cream, but that ice cream place we went to yesterday is kind of far and I don't want to walk. So we might see what's close by to the hotel, maybe go back up to the roof and hang out. I would like to keep reading Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry because I am enjoying it so far. And it's set in Georgia, but it's set on the East Coast. So it's kind of fun to be on the East Coast while I'm reading that. Let me show you guys what we got from the Red Sox Stadium. First, we got this Boston t-shirt. It's kind of wrinkled. I feel like they just crumpled it up and threw it in the bag, but it just says Boston. It's a pretty blue color and has like the skyline, which I feel like is nice. So I really like this. It was the only like just Boston. That was kind of loud. Just Boston thing they had. And we're not exactly like Red Sox fans. I mean, I don't dislike them, but we're just not that into baseball. But it was just fun to see the stadium because I feel like it's just so iconic. And then this is bubble wrapped, but let me see if I can get it. It just says Fenway Park and has like the little picture on it and says home of the Boston Red Sox. And yeah, I just thought this was cute. And I feel like even if you're not a Red Sox fan, people think that like certain baseball stadiums are just iconic and well-known and stuff, and I feel like Fenway is one of those, so that was fun. And then I got a hat. So I've been wanting just a hat to wear, especially now that it's summertime, like when I go on walks and stuff, just to keep the sun off my head and my face, but also I wanted it to be like cute because I feel like hats are kind of in right now. They just look really cute and stuff. So I got this one because it's just like a cream and tan. It says Fenway Park in like very subtle but like a really cute font on the front. And then on the back, like right over the little adjustable thing, it just says Boston. But again, very like neutral, cream, all of the things. And I feel like this will just be really easy to throw on. It will go with everything and be a little souvenir memorabilia from our trip to Boston, even if I don't care that much about Fenway Park. I just feel like it's a really cute hat and it's fun to just be like, I went to the stadium, we went to Boston. So yeah, I really love my new hat. It's been a really good day, but like I said, we've walked over 26,000 steps and we are tired. I feel like I need to just stretch my legs and rest tonight because we still have one more full day here in Boston and then one more morning of mostly just getting up and going to the airport, but we'll probably go out and get coffee or something that morning too. So we still have a lot of our trip ahead of us, but I think tomorrow our plan is to have a more chill day, like maybe just stay around here a little bit more. If we go somewhere, like go and hang out at a coffee shop for a few hours, maybe do some reading or something. We might try to go to the beach, so we're going to check the weather and see how that goes. I would love to go to the beach even if it's raining. So that's kind of what's on the agenda for tonight. I feel like tonight's going to be chill, but if we decide to venture back out and do anything, we'll let you guys know. On Saturday morning, we started out strong by playing in these little spinny chairs for a while. As you can see, I was not very good at it. Then we stumbled upon this bookstore that was really cool because it was actually not only a bookstore, but like a creative hub for writers to connect and learn and grow. They actually had a whole bookshelf that was just authors that have like gotten their start there, worked there, met people there, that I thought was really cool. We walked around the Harborwalk some more. I feel like we just love the Harborwalk. I love just seeing all the boats, walking around, especially on a sunny day. The clouds and the blue skies were just so pretty this day. And pro tip, on top of the Real House Oyster Bar on the Harborwalk, there's this really pretty panoramic view of the harbor and the city, and that's where this video was taken, and also where we took these really cute photos that I will put up on the screen for you. So I highly recommend stopping up here to see the view and snap some photos. Then right near that spot on the Harborwalk was also Pier Park, which is also where I feel like some of the photos I saw on Pinterest were taken. It has like the old-timey cobblestone streets and things, and we just sat on a park bench and kind of took in the view for a little bit. Then we headed back over to the Charles Street area. I got another Blank Street matcha, and we just kind of walked around and tried to explore different parts of that area and the downtown that we had missed the previous days, so just trying to walk down some different streets and all of that. We stumbled upon this little park that was kind of towards the Seaport side of the city, but still downtown, that was really peaceful, and we just sat on a bench for a little bit and took a little break. There was actually a fountain in this park that provided like the perfect white noise to rest. Then we went to eat lunch at High Street Place Food Hall. This was such a gem. I didn't read about this anywhere. Jackson found this place and it truly had like every kind of food. There were donuts, there was dessert, they had drinks you could order. We got the fried chicken and sweet potato fries, which was delicious, but I feel like this would be the perfect place to eat, especially if you had like a big group, because there would truly be something for everyone here. Then we hopped back down onto the subway to ride it up to the beach. We really just wanted to see the beach while we were there because we were so close, we felt like we had to. So this was Revere Beach. It was really gloomy and just not a good day for it. So I don't know if it would have been different if we would have gone a different day, but I'm glad we rode up there to see it. But to be honest, we stayed for like 5 or 10 minutes and then we were pretty much done. But I do think Revere Beach is one of the oldest public beaches in America. We went back to Fomu and Quincy Market because I really wanted some more ice cream. I got the exact same order as last time. This little view we saw walking back I thought was just very New England with the American flag and the fog. Then we actually, funny story, went back to our hotel, realized we needed to go back to the old part of the Boston Public Library, jumped in an Uber and got there like 20 minutes before it closed. So we got to see all of these beautiful things. I loved the courtyard. The ceilings were absolutely beautiful with all of the paintings. There were carvings. It was just really should be top of your list if you're going to Boston of things you should stop and see. So how we almost missed it, I don't know, but I'm so thankful we made it in time. We of course got to see the iconic reading room, which was packed with lots of people studying hard, and even the outside of the building was just so gorgeous, and I'm just again so thankful we were able to make it back in time to see all this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Last morning in Boston.
You're supposed to drink after a cheers.
On our last morning in Boston, we basically only had time to grab a matcha and a coffee from Blue Bottle near our hotel and pack up and head to the airport.